Validation and verification. So validation checks that the data entered into any sort of system is sensible and reasonable. However, it can't tell if it is accurate. Okay, it just tells it if it is the right sort of data. For example, it is a date, if it is the date of birth instead of just a random word. Let's have a look at what the BBC Bioscience website has got to say about validation. This is accessible at this link up here. Now, validation is basically a check which a computer can do to make sure that the data entered is sensible and reasonable, but it doesn't check that it's correct. It just checks that it's the right thing. For example, in this case, so let's take the example of a barcode. If we look at this example, validation in a barcode, the last digit is what's called a check digit, okay, and that checks that the rest of the digits are correct in a barcode. Okay, there's also a format check that makes sure that all the data is in the right format. So for example, if you've got a national insurance number, it's in this format here. If it's a date of birth, it's in the correct date format. Okay, length check makes sure that it's not too long. Okay, lookup table only takes values from somewhere else. Okay, so there will be a list of values, and then this will take the values from that list. Presence check, that just makes sure that data has actually been entered. Okay, some things you can't leave empty, for example a password when you're signing up to something. The range checks make sure that it's not exceeding the maximum range. For example, number of hours must be between less than 50 and more than 0. Or if it asks you how old you are, you can't say that you're 500 years old. Okay, so that's something to consider. And spell check, that's another type of validation that just compares what you've got with words in a dictionary. Okay, in terms of trying to make sure that the data is actually correct in terms of what you had to start with, is it the same as what you started off with if you're going to move from one database to another, or one system to this can often, obviously when we change from one system to another, there can often be problems. Okay, if I just put a database 1 here and database 2 over here. Often when we transfer data across, there may be spelling mistakes or just general mistakes in typing. Now, to get over this, what we use is verification, and that makes sure that the information that we had in the first database matches the information that is in the second database. Okay, or if we're doing it on a survey and typing it up into a computer, it just makes sure that the two matches. Now, the way that we can do this is through a process called double entry. Okay, now what double entry does, it means that two people enter the data at the same time. Okay, and then the versions are compared to check for errors. Okay, it's obviously time consuming, it requires two people to do it. There's also proofreading, where someone reads over your work for you. This can sort of be more detailed. It means that things like spelling mistakes and the context of work can be taken into consideration. It's another way of making sure that the data and the text and any other information is correct. Both of these processes make sure that the data is the exact same as the original source. So it's just a quick video today to update you on validation and verification. The key features are that validation helps to make sure that we can't enter data that is unreasonable, for example, banana for your birthday, as we've said many times before. And verification makes sure that the data matches the original source, okay, so it hasn't changed as you copied it from one system to another. Between the two things, you can make sure that both the data entered is reasonable and that it is accurate in terms of being the same as the original data. If you want any more videos, please respond to the email that I sent regarding the subjects that I will cover, and I'll happily create these videos over the next couple of days for you. Okay, I may create some videos anyway, but it'd be better if you could feed back and let me know what you actually want to learn about. There is a list of topics in the email. If you're looking at Edmodo as well, you will find them there. Thank you.